Hi, welcome to Board Game Express. Today we are going to Rules Blitz Princess of Florence. Now, Princess of Florence is going to be played out over a series of 7 rounds, indicated here. And in every round, players are going to go through an auction and then a series of action phases. Now, the first thing in each round is the auction phase. In turn order, so with first player, choose one of the 7 objects that are listed on your board for auction. And the minimum bid is 200, and every other incremental bid has to go up by 100. This game does not allow jumps, so either up by 100 or pass. Now, highest bidder wins. Once you pass, you're out. And when you've won something, so let's say red wins the first item up for auction, a jester. Red can no longer win another item. You can only win 1 per round. And the jester item is no longer available to anyone else. Only one of them can be won per round. If the player who chose did not win, they select again. If they did win, then the next player in order would choose, and so on and so forth. Now, the final person to go, you are not going to have anyone bidding against you, so you're just going to get whatever remains for your choice of 200. Now, once everyone has won something, go ahead and take your markers back. And in turn order, everyone is going to be able to do 2 actions. Now, the action items I placed over here on the left, that is buildings, what are called freedoms, a bonus card, and profession cards. Now, as with all the decks in this game, whenever you gain a card, whether it's a prestige from the auction or one of these decks, you will draw 5 cards, keep the one that you want, put the other 4 back underneath in any order that you want. In theory, the one that you maybe want to see again sooner, you would put on top. Not a big deal, but something to be aware of. Now, another action that is not one of the physical objects, which is arguably the most important one, is to score a work. Now, scoring a work means playing one of your previously acquired profession cards, either one that you've purchased or one that you have started the game with. There are 3 of those. To score, count up the chart on the card. The items on top, the building, the freedom, and the landscape, you can only score those 1 time. Those are all binary. Either you have that in your board or you do not. So if you have the building, you'll get 4. If you don't, it doesn't count. Then add up however many jesters you have, 1 for every profession card that you own or have previously played. Basically, everything in your possession counts. And then if you wanted to, any bonus cards that you wanted to play along with your work will score. And that number is the amount of money that you get. If you look at your little chart, when you score, however much money you get for playing your work, you can at that point buy prestige points, victory points, exactly for 200 each, as many as you want. So for example, if you score 12, you can take all of it as money, 1,200 bucks, or you can purchase up to 6 prestige points with that and take no money. Be careful, just make sure you plan. This is a relatively strategic game where you kind of have to anticipate several turns out what you actually are going to want to do. Make sure you leave yourself enough money at the end of the game. Now, at the end of each round, you're going to score up whoever had the largest single work of that round. So if blue did that, red did that, and green does that, then blue would be the highest work of the round, and you would get a bonus of 3 prestige points for that. A couple other things to note on your player board. You're going to get points each time you do certain things. Every second landscape of the same type that you build, so if you build a second park, you're going to get 3 points for that. Your second and third builder, also worth 3 points each. And every single building you build on your board, you are also going to get 3 points for that. Now, quick word about building buildings. In the beginning, you are allowed to build buildings such that they touch corners, but you are not allowed to build them such that they share an edge, like this or this. This would not be allowed. You will note underneath the second builder, there's a little text here that says once you have it, you are allowed to build adjacent buildings. So one of the benefits of having 2 builders is that you get to do this. All right, now, when the round's over, award the best work, 3 points, pass the starting player 1 clockwise, and then go ahead and start the next round. At the end of the game, you will score your prestige points. Each one of these cards, I should say, will tell you that if you are the leader in the category that it specifies, or you meet the condition that it wants, you will get the victory points. Now, some of these cards have a parenthetical underneath. What this basically means is if you are the sole leader at the end of the game, you'll score the full points. And if you are tied for the lead with another player, you will get the score in parentheses. Of course, if you are not the leader at all, you failed a card, you will not score for that card. And one last thing to mention is that in the event you find that you have run short of money, you can give up 1 prestige point to pick up $100 as often as you want and any time that you want. So if you need just another 1 or 2 to buy a freedom, for example, you can do that. You also, during the auction, are allowed to bid more money than you have on hand, and you only have to give up the points in the event you win the bid. So if you only have 800, you are allowed to bid 1,000. If you get overbid and you pass, nothing happens. If you do win, you are going to have to give up 2 victory points to get that extra 200. All right, and those are all the rules for Princess of Florence.